All right. So another one of our wonderful musicians is Reka Ohal. Some of you have heard her. She sings with us on Sundays. But probably what you don't know is that what she does on the side, other than all the music that she does, is that she is a psychic and a medium and an intuitive. So she invited me to come to one of her gatherings recently online, and so I joined her. And it was lovely to see her expressing her passion that I wasn't even aware of. She shared this story of a woman who was in a really bad car accident, who had a near-death experience. And this woman left her body after the accident. And as she left her body, she noticed the cars that were behind her. And in the first 4 cars, she could see actually who the people were, and she could hear them as they were talking. In the first 4 cars, they were irritated, frustrated, that they were stuck in traffic, they couldn't get to where they wanted to go. You know, my God, here I am stuck, I'm never gonna make it to where I need to be, all of that kind of stuff. And then she went to the 5th car. And in the 5th car, there was a woman by herself, and she was praying. But what she noticed, she could hear her prayer and she could feel her prayer, but what she saw was this beautiful arc of light that went from that 5th car all the way to her car and to her. So thank goodness she survived the accident to be able to share this story. And so I share this because I think that this really illustrates what love really is. And that's what I'm talking about today. You know, the HeartMath Institute, they've done a lot of research. How many have heard of the HeartMath Institute? Yeah, most of you, yeah. So what they have found in their research with very sophisticated equipment is that they have discovered is that the heart produces 100 times greater electromagnetic energy and strength than the brain does. It actually sends a signal outside of the body 3 feet outside and all around the body. Now, clearly it goes further than that, as indicated in the story I just shared. But the equipment can only measure it by 3 feet. But that's something for us to think about. That when we are in that place of love and expressing that love, that it extends out from our heart much further than likely all of us ever even imagined. You know, we come into this life knowing what love is. We know when we come in as babies what love is. We just don't have the words to express it. We just ooh and ah and smile a lot and cry a lot too. But we know what love is. And then we go through this world and we get into our teenage years and then we think we know what love is because teenagers know everything, right? And then we get into our 20s and 30s and we get into a serious relationship. Maybe a serious relationship happens in 8th grade, but we think it's serious. But it really gets more serious when we're in our 20s and our 30s, 40s, and so on. And then we think we really know what love is because we've had this exchange of love with our beloved. We've had an exchange of love perhaps with a child that we've brought into the world or with a grandchild. And we feel that love, and we think we know what love is. And then we enter a spiritual path. We begin our spiritual journey, and then we discover what love really is. That it is so much more than romantic love. And it's not to say that romantic love isn't beautiful. And the love that we have for our children and our family isn't beautiful. But the love that I'm talking about, as you may guess, is much bigger than that. It's so big that we actually, like babies, don't have the words to describe it. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You've experienced that love. That love is the most profound thing that we could ever experience. And why is that? Because that love is the love of the divine. There is no love that is greater than that. And And we confuse divine love and human love sometimes. And so we block ourselves from receiving it. We block ourselves from giving it out. And life does that to us, doesn't it? Most of us in our culture, we've experienced conditional love, not unconditional love. Because it's a cultural thing. If you do this, then I'll love you. If you behave in this way, then I will love you. If you get this good grade, then I will love you. If you take out the trash, I will love you. If you clean up and take your socks off the floor, I will love you. Right? And so, but this love, this divine love, is never ending. Do we can't outgive God. We cannot. It's a stream of energy that keeps going, and it's reciprocal. Christine mentioned it in her prayer. It's reciprocal. So this thing called the law of circulation, the law of reciprocity, it's another way of saying it, that when we give it out, what happens? It comes back to us. It's the law. It cannot not come back. So when we allow ourselves, because it's really allowance, it's remembering who and what we are, that we are love first and foremost. We are divine first and foremost. Yes, we have these meat suits that we are walking around in, but first and foremost, we are love. So it's really not something we have to remember. It's something to just simply allow. To allow it. And when we open ourselves to express it, it just flows like that arc of light that woman shared in her NDE. Thomas Merton said, "Love is our true destiny. We do not find the meaning of love by ourselves alone. We find it with another. We find it in learning to love. Love is not just a feeling of emotional warmth, it is a decision, a judgment, a faithfulness. Love demands the complete gift of ourselves." Do we came here as souls on this planet to be that, to express that. Do you feel that? Do you feel not from this heaviness of this is my responsibility to be this? This is the gift that we were given in this life. And so it's simply allowing it to be expressed. We cannot outgive God. We cannot. So what does it mean to express it as a daily commitment in our life? I think one of the things that's important for all of us to think about and become aware of is who have we placed outside of our heart? There's a woman by the name of Edwene Gaines. Some of you are nodding, you know who this is. She wrote a wonderful book about prosperity and abundance. And one of the things that she says is that every night as a practice, as a spiritual practice, before you go to sleep, is to think about who have you placed outside of your heart today. Now, it might have been the waiter that was rude to you when you went to lunch earlier that day. It might have been a child or a family member who is just making you nuts. Or your cat that just won't eat the food that you put down for it. That's my cat. So then I open up another brand new can of food. He's got me wrapped around his little paw. Yeah. So who have we placed outside of our heart? You're all thinking of someone right now, I trust, yeah? And so it's our choice to, once we recognize that, once we become aware of that, then we have a choice to release that and let that go, to bring them back into our heart, to return to love. Paul Selig, who's written, I don't even know how many books now. I think he's written 13 books. We've done several of his book studies here. And something that he talks about is that we cannot be in the light and hold another in the darkness. So in other words, we cannot walk through this world and say we are spiritual people and yet continue to hold someone in the darkness. Doesn't matter who it is. Now, it might be someone in your life, and it might be someone in the political world. Just saying. So this is a good reminder for all of us. Yeah? We cannot be in the light and hold another in the darkness. So it's coming back to this thing called love, divine love. This extraordinary light that it is. That is a gift that each of us have been given just by being a soul here in human form. We were given that gift of love. So again, we don't have to practice it. We don't have to force ourselves, oh God, she's telling me I gotta go love that person that I just can't stand. No, that is not what I'm saying. Love has a bigger container, a much bigger container than we were ever taught growing up. It can encompass and hold all things and all beings and all situations. We have actually, our version of love for many of us is this small. And it's so big, it fills up this entire building, the entire CSU Creative Arts Center, and beyond. Love is big. You know, the word that was used in early Christian writings to describe this kind of love is agape love. Because it comes from the divine. It's divine. And so to commit to that, again, yes, it's a choice, but it's a choice to allow it to be expressed. Not forcing it, not forcing ourselves to love someone. Not, oh, I gotta love this person, that means I have to invite them over for breakfast or lunch or dinner to my home. No. But it's holding them in that bigger container of love. That's what it is. Agape love. So committing is allowing. And you know, it's not just about loving all things, all beings. It's about loving ourselves too. And letting ourselves off the hook sometimes. We had a gathering over the weekend, a small group of us, and we all had to bring a dish. Now, I can cook, but I'd never made peas and carrots before. Now that sounds ridiculous. I know as I'm saying it out loud, that sounds ridiculous. I had some frozen peas, organic peas I got from Costco, and I had a bunch of carrots. So I thought, okay, I'm gonna chop them up and I'm gonna cook them. Well, I burned the peas. So I'm standing over my stove and I'm picking out the burned ones, and I thought, oh, this is ridiculous. I'm just gonna throw the whole thing away. And I thought, no, what am I doing? They don't care. They love me anyway. Doesn't matter if the peas are burned. So I made my dish and I brought it, and of course I had to say, okay, burn the peas, you know, like who cares? You know, but we do things like this, and we block ourselves from expressing that love because we beat ourselves up. We make this one mistake and we say, well, no, there's something wrong with me. And we judge and we criticize. And so love, if this love that I'm talking about can encompass all things, it can encompass us as well. It can encompass our mistakes. And are they really mistakes? Or are they just simply things that we have an opportunity to learn from? I have a hard time with the word mistake for that very reason, because they're opportunities to learn. And another opportunity to choose to love ourselves even more. So if we allow this love to be expressed in and through and as us, how do you think your life would change? How do you think you would walk through the world? How do you think you would view our government? I know that's a triggering one for many, but boy, you have a lot of opportunities to practice. And I'm serious. Really. Every day we have an opportunity to practice being that agape love, expressing the very truth of who we are with each and every person, each and every being, each and every person who triggers us, who drives us crazy, who stirs up anger in us, alive or dead. We have opportunities every day to choose to be that expression of love. Our founder, Ernest Holmes, he said, have a consciousness of love, a radiant feeling flowing through your consciousness at all times. What would that look like? What would that feel like? To radiate it, to be that. And I recognize some of us, we have blocked it off so much we don't even know where to even begin. So I'm going to tell you, as you might have guessed. So first, even having an awareness, what is this thing called love? What does it even mean? Let me just sit with that. This divine love, this agape love that Reverend Leah was talking about. What is that? Let me just sit with that. Let me just feel that. And then once you've sat with it in meditation, once you have played with that a little bit, and your mind wants to go back to, oh, I love this thing. No, that's not what it is. Oh, I love this person. That's it. No. Not that that's not valid. This is way bigger. Okay, agape love, divine love. Oh, God, I was just out in nature and I felt my whole heart just expand. As I sat in meditation, as I sat in prayer, and I brought my attention to Iran and all that's going on there, and my heart just expanded. That's agape love. Oh, this person that I have been holding anger towards for the last 20 years, I can feel a shift in my being, in my heart. That's agape love. God, I don't know how to release the mistake that I know that I made last year with that person, and now we're not talking anymore. And I've been beating myself up over this thing that happened between us. Let me sit in meditation and let me just surround that whole situation with love, with light, with beauty, with grace. That's agape love. Let me just feel that in my heart and in my being and let it expand within me, growing, greater and greater, bigger and bigger. That's agape love. So if you were to do that, do you think you all could try that? Yeah? Practice it. Do you know the spiritual journey is all about practicing? It is. It's about learning something new and then taking it out into our life and practicing it, trying it out, seeing how it feels, seeing how people respond to it. Here's an assignment for you. Go out into your life and practice this and radiate the love. Do it all day long at the Starbucks person across the counter, at King Soopers, at your cat, your pet, your animals, your beloved. And then see how you feel at the end of the day. See how you feel. See if anything has shifted within your being. See if anything has shifted within your mind. See if how you feel. And then come back and tell me. Send me an email. I'd love to know. And here's something that will happen as you start doing that more and more. It then becomes just your way of being in the world. And don't you think we could all use, this world could use a little more love? Don't you think? And you know that when we start doing that individually, it then gives silent permission for others to do the same. Do you know the HeartMath has actually done a research study where they had people separated from one another, and one person focused on love and compassion and unity, and then they had someone sitting over here, and they measured, and what they found, this person wasn't doing anything, but when they measured this person, it's as though they were doing the exact same thing. So what does that tell us? It tells us that this person over here, although they weren't doing anything, they were influenced by what this person was doing. The energy is powerful. That's how powerful we are. That the love that is within us, if we just do it ourselves, and that's all we do as we walk through Starbucks, as we walk through King Soopers, as we go into Walgreens or wherever we're going, that love is impacting all the people around us. They too, on some level, are feeling it. They too, on some level, are receiving it. And then when we do that, it then comes back because it is the law. It cannot not come back to us. Now, we're not doing it so that it will come back, but I would love to hear your reports on that too. As you send it out, what are you noticing coming back to you? Today I just got a gift before service. Somebody painted me a painting. What a beautiful gift. Totally unexpected. And that's what happens. When we give and we share that agape love, that comes back around in some form, in some way, through another person, through a situation, the grace just shows up in our life. That love just shows up. It returns back to us. Ernest Holmes said, "Love is self-givingness through creation, the impartation of the divine through the human." Love is self-givingness. It is the divine expressing through us. And so how can we express more of that? Just by committing. And a commitment is different than, I'd like to do this, it'd be nice, sure, it'd be nice. A commitment has some oomph to it. Yeah? It has some oomph to it. It has this energy of, I'm going to do this no matter what. I'm going to practice this. I'm going to take this agape love out into the world as I interact with everybody. So today when service ends, express that agape love with everybody you shake hands with or hug or say hello to. If you go to lunch with us afterwards, some of you may not know, we go to lunch, a small group of us. Express that agape love. And watch what happens in your life. Watch how people respond. Watch how you feel, how it heals you, how it heals those around you, how it heals your life, and how it helps to transform our planet. This little group right here can help to transform our planet. Do you believe that? Because we are all one. We are connected, and therefore we have way more power than what we have been told we have in this life. Way more power. Howard Thurman said, "There is something in every one of you that waits and listens for the sound of the genuine in yourself. It is the only true guide you will ever have. The genuine in you is love. But the love that releases, the love that says, I see you, I honor the life in you, I will not diminish you." It can never, ever diminish anyone. It can only lift us up and heal and transform. It is a gift. It is a gift we have been given, and we can then give it to all. So I want to close today by having us send out our own arc of light. So we know in Iran there's a lot still going on there. There are civilians who don't have access to food or medical care. The hospitals don't have enough resources. They're running out of resources and food and supplies. Millions of people have been displaced. Thousands have been killed. And so what I'd like to do is I'd like for us to just gently close our eyes if you're comfortable. Just take a breath. Let's just all just take a deep breath. Dropping into that agape love that is right there in your heart. And just connecting into that beautiful light. And just feeling for a moment the light that's there, the love that is there, the love that has been there with you from the moment you came into this life as a soul, and actually way before that. And so we just tap into that. We feel into that love. We feel into that presence of the divine, that powerful force that is right here, has never left us. And so as we feel into that light, as we feel into that love, we bring our awareness to Iran. We just bring our awareness to all that is happening there. And we allow that light from our heart to go to this place on the planet, surrounding the entire area, blessing and healing and showering each and every person. Those who have lost loved ones, those who are hospitalized, those who are hurting, those who have been displaced. We send our light and our love to all those who are there in that region of the world. And so just notice, just feel right now in the center of your chest. Notice if there's a warmth there. Notice if you can feel the energy within your chest expand. And we just send that agape love to all those who have been impacted by this war. We send our light and love to the humanitarian aid that is having a difficult time getting there with all the blocks and all the things that have been done. We just bless them, and we just know that aid is arriving, that whatever is needed, the water and the food and the resources and the shelter and the love, that it is finding its way to all. And so we just hold this. We hold this light. We hold this love. We bless. And we know and declare that this war is coming to an end. Our mind may tell us differently, but we just know right here, right now, that the war is coming to an end. And we just see and know that the region in the Middle East, that it is all flourishing and it's thriving. That people are connecting and there is peace there and there is love there and there is unity there. And just see and know everybody connected, united, smiling, and sharing and exchanging in ways that are uplifting and healing and joyous and beautiful. And so we hold this vision. And we just know that love heals all. And as we send this love out, it returns to us. We cannot outgive God. And as we send this love out, it is also healing us. It is supporting our being. It is supporting our life. It is supporting every person we know, every person we think about, every person who is in our life or who is finding their way to our life. This love is healing all. And so just feeling gratitude for this moment, feeling gratitude for this love that is raining down upon us and all we are thinking about in this moment. And with great, great gratitude, we release this, we let it go, and if you choose to claim it with me, we say together, and so it is.